Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jasmine and this is my season now. Y'all, I have a quick word for somebody, right? So the thing is, you've been feeling distant from God, right? Like, you usually have a real close, intimate relationship with God, but for some reason recently you just been feeling like, homesick, like just not close as you usually are to God. And I just want to let you know that you need to check who you have around you. Check your circle. That's the word that I'm releasing right now for somebody who needs it, who is wondering what's going on, why God hasn't been close to you. The thing is, he's still close to you, but God said that light ain't got no business being in darkness, right? Or being with darkness or associated with darkness. He said you need to check some of the people that you have close around you, right? And before I release this word, he reminded me of how, it's a pyramid. He reminded me of how, back in the Old Testament, the Levites were a chosen people, a set apart people, right? God said that you are his chosen and set apart. So it's like, it get lonely sometimes, right? But the thing is, God knows. God was the one who said that it's not good for men to be alone, right? And sometimes we be want company and friends and our guy friends and, friend girls and all of that. But God said that the people that he is going to send into your life is going to pull you closer into the presence of God, right? But the word that I just want somebody to know is check your circle, right? If you want to know why God has been distant, he said it's because it's a snake in your circle. You need to, not necessarily saying that they're bad people, but they are not living a life, the way that's pleasing to God. And God just not gonna come into that environment. He ain't trying to associate himself, that way, right? Because what I was gonna say about the Levites was there was a process that they had to go through before they entered into the presence of God. They had to clean their garments, wash themselves with water, and all type of detailed stuff, right? They had to be clean. They had to be set apart. So God is just like, it's some filthiness going on around you that his presence cannot dwell there. So if you want to know why God has been distant from you lately, is because of, and it might not even be you, it's probably somebody around you who is worshiping false gods or dabbling in witchcraft. And God has been pointing out to me, them little cards that y'all be playing with that supposedly is able to tell future or whatever they do. I have no idea. I don't know what. I know it's so much stuff. And y'all, like, it literally, oh my God, it bothers me so much when I see, like, because that stuff get in my news feed, because somehow the enemy mixes in, that those stones and the crystals and the cards and the sage, he mixes all of that in with the thing, with what I do, which is do the prophetic words, and I follow prophetic ministries. But somehow, when I'm watching my prophetic videos, those type of videos get recommended, right? And they get like 153K views. Like, a lot of people are watching that demonic stuff, and it's so scary because it's so many people who are being misguided and disillusioned, and and so a lot of them don't know, that is wrong. A lot of them don't know, right? But what I'm saying is, I don't know how I get on that subject. I guess God just wants y'all to also know, like, it's just so scary that so many people have turned away from God and following false gods. But he said the reason why his presence has not been strong on you recently is because there's someone around you who is in the darkness. And he said you ain't got no business. And it hurts to let go some of these people, because we've been friends for so long, for years and years, since high school, since junior high, since daycare. Listen, but God is going to bring you the right person. God is going to bring you the right person. And when you will know when that person is sent by God, because his presence is going to be all over them. They're going to confirm things about you that only God knows. God confirms everything that he do, right? So it's not easy being set apart. it's not easy. It's not easy being set apart. It's not fun always. But I would rather be by myself with God than with somebody who, pushes his presence back, right? Because when you push the presence of God back, you don't know what you welcome, what type of spirits are, gonna start coming around you and dwelling around you. So I love you, but bye. I love you, but I gotta let you go. I love you, but I gotta give you your space. Because God is my daddy. He's my man. He's my king. He's my everything. I need him more than the air that I breathe. And when I'm feeling like he's far away from me, I start feeling spiritually sick, right? Because I'm like, God, I love you. Like, don't abandon me, right? But he just made it known, that he don't want me around everybody, right? The thing is, God wants you are the bride of Christ, right? So that means that you gotta be full of light, nothing but light. You can't look like this world. You can't look like the darkness, because when that time comes for God to judge, right, you don't want to get caught up in that. So some people might be in their feelings about it. You acting funny. Why you don't call me? Why you don't text me no more? Why we don't hang out no more? But the thing is, I would rather have God. I would rather be dwelling in the presence of the house of God than in the streets, you know what I'm saying, with no good people who ain't got good intentions and a good heart. And I would rather have a friend who love God the way that I love God, right? Who want to talk about the Bible and pray, right? And encourage each other. So this is just my whole word for somebody. If you've been feeling distant from God, God said check your circle. Check your circle. If these people are worshiping other gods as far as their cars and their money and they houses and their hair and their nails, if they worshiping and idolizing different stuff more than they love God, check your circle. Check your circle. That's the word that I have for you. Whoever you are who needs this, who is questioning as to why, because let me tell y'all something. Like, me and God is like this. Like, we real close. So he talked to me face to face. Like, we good. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are really close. Like, God is always speaking to me. But, like, recently I've been feeling a little distant. I'm like, God, what's up? But he had to remind me that I'm set apart. If he said, if you want to have that, if you want to be in the secret place with me, it's a lonely place. But he is gonna bring the right people in due time, right? You just have to trust him. God, I trust you in the loneliness. Lord, I know that all things are going to work together for my good. God feels your pain. He feels your loneliness. But in that loneliness, go deeper in him, and he is going to talk to you. He's going to be your friend. So think it not strange if you have to be by yourself, for a little while. But I don't like that homesick feeling. I don't like that feeling of being distant from God. Like, I love to be close to God. I love for God to talk to me, even in my sleep. Like, God, when I say God is always talking to me and around me and loving on me. So when I felt that distance, I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I started doing that full inspection. Right? That's another reason why God is like, clean up your house, right? Because he said, because there's some snakes and rats around, up in there, that you need to spot them out. Clean out some of that clutter so you can see clearly. Because y'all, when God started, like, when I felt a distance between me and God, I started looking around me, looking at myself, like, what? Clean it up. But yeah, it's somebody around you. He just basically, was telling me that light ain't got no business being with darkness, and being friends with people who ain't, for him. And the thing is, because these people will have a negative influence on you, and they're gonna pull you away from him, right? So I love y'all. I pray that this word get to who it is for. Have a great night.